Hey Libra, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings, so we take what works, leave what doesn't. And if I don't catch your wavelength or storyline here, go check your other major placements. And we're starting with the Oracle decks of Moonology and Work Your Light for an intuitive vibe of where we might be going. And then we'll move on to the Golden Tarot for a more traditional style tarot spread. All right. One thing, shot across the room there. Let's see what else we get. Okay. All right. Dear Libra. Okay. All right, we have new moon in Sagittarius. Luck is on your side. So, something fortunate coming together. I mean, how could we be more obvious? Luck is on your side, but you might be getting that card because you need it, because you need to understand that something is in your favor, something is working out in your favor, and that there is luck on your side. This card always prompts the Kurt Vonnegut quote, "We know so little about life, we don't know what the good news is and what the bad news is." So if you're feeling like something's not working out for you, understand that it's actually kind of lucky that that's not working out. There's some sort of good fortune here. This can also just be basic good luck, and not like, well, it's good luck disguised as bad luck. It can also just be something good, something fortuitous coming for you that's going to feel really good and be a blessing to you. We have new moon in Aquarius, bring love into this situation. So introducing or beginning to talk about how you really feel about something. And it's not just love to me, it's genuine emotion, genuine feeling, and talking about that and expressing genuine feelings into a situation that maybe you haven't expressed genuine feelings in before. So we have Aquarius and a new moon. So Aquarius is an air sign about communication. But it's the water bringer. It's bringing the emotion into the communication. And we have a new moon. So there's something about bringing something into, introducing genuine feelings and genuine emotion, or something very genuine into a situation. It can also be, this card can be a little bit time critical, like now's the time to do that. Do not tarry, do not wait. There can be something a little unconventional about this, and so sort of some independence of acting without I don't want to say without acting or talking, speaking your mind, not necessarily waiting to see before you do that testing to see how well it's going to be received, although there's wisdom there, but this is saying how you feel and not necessarily needing all the ducks in the row to make sure that it's going to be well received. So, and with luck is on your side, it does seem like maybe there might be some sort of, we have two new moons. With luck is on your side, it might seem that this is going to be a good thing for you to express these feelings, even if the situation doesn't seem particularly expressly primed for that. And then they are two new moons, so there could be something new-ish coming in here, some sort of maybe new relationship or new way of relating to somebody. Both of them have to do with, well, no, the Aquarius has to do with relating, and the full moon in Sagittarius could do with anything. Meditate and contemplate. New moon in Pisces, so another new moon. So we could be, okay, so yeah, we do have some sort of like new emotional situation, either a new emotional level with a relationship you already have going on, or a new, and I find that really interesting because new moon in Aquarius, it's the water bringer, and then it's bringing in this communication could be bringing in soulmate connection. There's also new moon in Pisces, meditate and contemplate. That means like feel it, be in touch with your intuition with something, but also be thinking it through. We don't need to give ourselves fully to our emotions, but we also don't want to give ourselves fully to our mind. We want sort of the combination and the connection, some really nice flow between those two things. Trust your feelings while also intellectually understanding them, just because, yeah, they don't cancel each other out. They feed into each other. There also can be a really strong soulmate connection here, right? With these little fishies swimming around each other in the deep waters. All right. Cutting the deck here for Libra. This is your past, your present, your inner landscape, what's at issue, your environment, to-do list, possible outcome. All right, our to-do list our to-do list, our to-do list does have a queen. We've got all of the elements present here. And we have 2 queens and a reverse king. Gender doesn't matter, but this is interesting. We've got some people here. Okay, in your recent past, we have Queen of Cups. This could have been you or someone you knew. Cups are about emotion, that flow, that liquidity of emotions that flow through us. It's a flow, right? It's not static, even though sometimes it feels that way. It's not static. But this Queen of Cups, the queens are involved in the inner universe. They are involved in what goes on within, and it's not gendered. It's just that's what the queens are referring to, is the inner universe. So someone here with a lot of feelings, maybe a lot of journaling has gone on here, a lot of thinking about things. They're not necessarily sharing it, right? Her little journal here is locked up, but she's been busy in it. It's full. She could have love on her mind, some sort of connection on her mind. Look, we're having these 2 lovebirds here, very similar to these 2 fishies here. Something possibly about love on her mind. If not that, then just pure emotion, just the feelings and the emotion, right? Bringing our real emotion to the situation. We may have been filling up this jug with a lot of emotions, and it's time to express them, share them, pour them out. But we've had a lot of time here in our journals, in ourselves, sorting through our own emotions, understanding how we feel, gaining some sort of understanding and mastery of those emotions. Not necessarily full mastery, but because there's no expression of them, but the internal universe sorting that out, figuring that out. This might have been a time of healing for you. There might have been some wounds that needed to be addressed and needed to be sorted through. But there's been a lot of internal work done, emotional sorting, and trying to understand that and come to some sort of clarity on the inner feelings. So in your current situation, we have the World card, which is reminding me a little bit of this. These things sort of outside of our control that go on. The World card can be it can be a cycle. It can be the completion of a cycle, right? The way the Earth rotates around the sun, and we end up in basically the same spot, except for like everything's all rotating. So we're never going to be in the same spot in the universe, in our galaxy, as we are today. But we'll have done a full rotation, and a year from now it'll be about the same time of year, about the same season. We will be slightly scooted around the sun's, because the galaxy is moving too, right? So all these moving parts, and so we may be back at the beginning, back at the sort of the beginning, except for it's a little bit different. And then the world also talks to me about these enormous movements through life of the planets, of the galaxy, of the weather, of the economy, which to me just seems like we invented like human sourced weather out of our control and just kind of does its own thing. So economics and history and all of that just moving through, and we're just sort of along for this bigger ride. So we're all on this bigger ride. How we deal with that bigger ride and some of the details and how we care about our feelings enough to sort through our mind and make sure that we're thinking and approaching our lives in ways that continue to not make us feel good, but that is important to us, how we feel. And and that we can think about things. So we can think about our situations in these larger movements, and how we feel about those situations. So there's something larger going on here, bigger movements through history and time, and it's affecting us, and it's affecting our lives. I like this card from this deck in particular, because we talk about the protection as we move through this this bull, this lion, all these different aspects of life, all these different sort of seasons of life. There is this like sense of protection and safe within those, finding your safety and finding your space, your sanctuary within all of these larger movements over which we have zero control. So, I mean, really, we don't have a lot of control over axial tilt, seasons, weather, but we can find our own inner sanctuary. And I feel like in a way, this is what you've been doing, is looking for this inner sanctuary. So as things turn, as the world turns, and the drama unfolds around you, you can maybe be finding your space within that. But the world does talk about things outside of our control, the greater movements of the world. So that's having an effect on you and your situation. But also it brings you back again, circumstances continuously bringing you back again to a similar spot as where you've seen before, not the same, but a similar spot. And so you may be having to revisit something, or understanding that you're not who you were a year ago. Lots been sorted here. Then we have your hopes, your fears, your inner landscape. This is going to be a hope. It's everybody's hope. It's the fulfillment of everything. Having enough money to be able to have the freedom to enjoy your life, having a solid resources, a solid base of resources, and then to be able to move on from there to more satisfying pursuits, the freedom, financial freedom to be able to do what you want with your life, with your time, some sort of very fulfilling situation. I mean, we have the World card here, which is talking about these larger cycles. And then we have this 10 of Coins, which is talking about a cycle as well. And the completion, the fullness and completion of a cycle in your personal life. So maybe you're hoping that the world can turn in such a way that that your circumstances are more relaxed. There's plenty of free time. There's plenty of money to support that plenty of free time. It's not free time because you don't have a job and now you can pack all your goods into a car to live in. But there's free time that feels secure and good, and create, and allows for creativity, allows for individual pursuits. So and then what we have, what's at issue here is this. I see this 10 of Coins. I'm going to go back to that. I see this 10 of Coins as being the freedom, as being a longing for freedom, for financial freedom, for time freedom, for the freedom to be able to do things. Not just 10 of Coins is typically going to be about the fullness of financial situation. It can be about inheritance, about family money, about different things like that. But I think at the root of all of that is this, and this card depicts this from this deck in particularly, not just the wealth aspect, but the freedom that can come with financial security. What's at issue here is this King of Wands in reverse. So the kings are going to be some sort of mastery, some sort of leadership that can be shared with others. And Wands is energy, and Wands is energy, creativity. So what you may have right now going on is not having mastered some sort of creative, intuitive thing yet. Or you could have a person here that's not you, because it's a court card. So we could be dealing with a person here who is out of their intuition, who is not able to listen to their intuition, is not taking the lead of a situation, is not in touch with life force energy, isn't taking leadership. So it could be someone who's not taking the leadership, or is maybe in a leadership position, but not in touch with their own intuition, not in touch with their own feelings and their own creativity. Or this could be you. So in the reverse, we get either not taking leadership, someone here, you or somebody else possibly, not taking leadership or not in a position to lead. And then with wands, we could have someone who is in a position to lead, but is not in touch with their own creativity, maybe even their own sexuality. There could be a block on their own sexual energy, their own or identity or something like that. So we have a reverse king here. So this can be dangerous when this person actually does have leadership role and they're out of touch with their own situation, right? And even and they're suppressing or have some unexpressed creativity, unexpressed energy, unexpressible sexuality. This can be very difficult for the people underneath them to deal with, right? The repressed energy here. So it's reminding me of a pimple, honestly. It's like there's something in there that is not getting expressed and is creating some sort of bothersome energetic inflammation here. So then we have energetic inflammation. I like that idea. When we have this suppression going on here. And if they're in a leadership position, this could be very difficult for people working with them, but they're just they're not in charge of their own energy, or they're not in touch with their own energy, or leaving it suppressed and out of flow. And so what's in your environment? 3 of Cups, work. Teamwork, this is pretty cool. I love 3 of Cups. 3 of Coins is working together. There's projects here that require team efforts, everyone doing their part. This could be work focused. You could be in a situation where there's a lot of work going on here, but the 3 of Coins really does talk about teamwork. I mean, we do have 2 queens and a reverse king, which could be a queen too, I guess. And so, inwardly dealing with something without expressing it in the larger world, right? Or refusal to express it into the larger world. So we have 3 of Coins here, teamwork. There may be a team assembled to deal with something. Everyone's got their expertise. Everyone's bringing their time and energy and money into a project to make something happen. So, and this can also just be work, especially since so many of us do work in teams with other people. So, but there could be a team here that you're needing to interact with. And this could be a team member that's very out of touch with their own, I almost want to say masculine side, with their own, or even their own energy, and their own creativity. Someone's very out of touch with that, not able to take any leadership, even if in their own lives, not able to make any movements, or what movements they do make are out of touch and out of sync with the flow of energy, with the natural flow of energy. So if this is part of this team here, this could be a little bit difficult to deal with. Your to-do list, Libra. I like it because it's a Queen of Swords. Okay. Yeah, I think we needed a drum roll on that, but we don't have that right here, right now. This is basically this Queen of Swords and this Queen of Cups is looking like this. We know how we feel. Express it. So Queen of Swords, this is very Libra energy, very air energy here. It's communication and ideas. This Queen of Swords is looking a little bit bitchy here. She's like possibly gonna have some words with this King of Wands here. But the Queen of Swords, this is very powerful, right? In the reverse, I consider the Queen of Swords someone who's a bit of an asshole with their words, and this one's a bit of an asshole with their energy. They may be actually very stingy with their energy and stingy with their sort of life force and focus and creativity. But this Queen of Swords here, in the upright, to me, it is in the upright. It is good. The queens are inwardly focused. She knows what she thinks. She knows what she thinks. Here we have her knowing what she feels. Now we know what she thinks. So this is where you're going. This is your greatest, oh my gosh, I love it. Meditate and contemplate. Here we have the meditate, here we have the contemplate. In balance, these two in balance. So typically the queens are very inwardly focused, right? This one has the journal shut, right? We're not communicating, we're feeling, we're sorting our feelings. This has the truth coming out. She can be a little bit harsh, but that's mostly because she's very focused on communicating her own truth. She's in touch with her truth. She knows what she thinks, and she's going to communicate it very clearly. She doesn't have to pussyfoot around. She doesn't have to, she's not really sitting here trying to figure out how to present to the world what she thinks or he thinks, what you think on a feather bed or a bed of roses to present to the world in the easiest digestible place. Her focus is solely on getting it out as precisely as possible. What she thinks, what she feels, right? Because we know what she knows what she feels. She's done a lot of work on that. There may come an opportunity here for you to truly express how you feel, good or bad. And I love that we have these two queens here of this would be meditate, feeling it, thinking about it, and contemplating. Okay, so this is more thinking, but this is also getting really clear on what you think, and possibly, if you have the opportunity, if it arises, and you might get your lucky moment, expressing it, because something's changing, something big is changing in your environment, in your world. And you may end up with this opportunity to express something and share something very clearly. So it doesn't even have to be like, she looks a little mad, but it doesn't even have to be bad or angry or anything like that. It could be, we're talking about bring love into the situation. It could be how you really feel, very clearly expressing that. And it can be a positive. It can be sharing what sometimes we suppress, which is what I'm getting a little bit here, the energy to even share positive, loving things with people, not wanting to look the fool, not wanting to look like an idiot. So, but this is an opportunity maybe coming in here for you to very clearly and unequivocally express your true feelings, whatever they are, whether they're love or something a little harsher. Although love can be so intense, it can feel like it's one of the more intense things to express. Like sometimes anger can feel difficult to express, but sometimes it's easier even than our more loving emotions and feelings. So expression there. Oh, and then we have where you're going, a possible outcome. 5 of Swords. What? This is a winner take all kind of mentality. 5 of Swords can deal with not having a lot of not having a lot of good options. What? This Queen of Swords. Well, maybe if you don't express yourself, there's like a disaster here, because this guy got all the swords. He doesn't look particularly thrilled with that, right? There are some choices that are just really difficult. Life can back us into corners where there's not like great options. So what are we going to do? Are we going to run away? Are we going to grieve? Are we going to take all the swords? So you could end up in a situation that is leaves you with a lot of difficulty, where you have to pick whether, not every situation can be win-win. There are some people that are very talented in creating no situation as a possible win-win. But life naturally is going to bring us some situations that can be negotiated for all to benefit from, and other situations where we may need to sacrifice ourselves or part of ourselves for a greater win. Or we may need to just make some hard choices about how we're going to deal with the situation. So this could be a warning where if you don't speak your mind, the situation gets more difficult and more unwieldy and more gets you backed in the corner. Or if you do express yourself, the situation may not leave any leeway here except for you to express yourself. And it may feel like bad luck. You may feel backed into a corner, but overall we're saying that this is probably going to be overall good. I mean, one of the things about being backed into a corner where you have to like choose and you have these really stark, difficult choices is that when you choose yourself, it's a reaffirmation that you can trust yourself to always have your back. So even if you have to sacrifice something, possibly dignity, possibly high moral standards at times, you also, what you gain from that is the understanding that even when it's unpleasant, you still, you can trust yourself to have your own back. So, all right. Well, Libra, I hope that was helpful for you. Thank you for your likes, subscribes, and comments, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.